Well, you know, the Bible says that train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Thank you for joining me for Connect today. I'm very excited about my guest today. She's joining us from the beautiful island of Jamaica, the land of wood and water, the land of curry goat, oxtail, jerk chicken, jerk pork, rice and peas.
Ah,
Are you
yes.
are you hungry yet? Amen. The land of sun, blue seas, and palm trees. How are you,
Beautiful
Mrs.
people.
Little?
I am wonderful. It's a pleasure to be here talking with you, Dr.
It
Potts.
is such an honor to have you on. You know, our children, they're our future, and it is very important that they have strong, caring individuals in their lives that's going to lead
Yes.
and guide them in the right direction, in the direction that they need to go. And when I say that, I don't just mean at home, I mean at
Mm-hmm.
school also. It's very important that they have strong individuals in their lives because they are tomorrow. And that's why I'm so happy to have you on. I'm so glad that I have connected with you because I think that God orchestrates every connection that takes place.
Yes.
Nothing just happens. I'm so happy that I am connected with you, and I'm happy about the work that you're doing in Jamaica for the children of Jamaica.
Yes.
So I just want
Thank
you to
you.
go ahead and introduce yourself to the people. Introduce yourself to my guests, my audience, and let them know who you are and what you're doing in Jamaica.
My name is Nadine Gale Little, as in Little.
Mm.
Of course, I'm an educator, a Jamaican educator, a principal of a beautiful, small, rural primary and infant school in the parish, the beautiful, lush, rich parish of Clarendon. Um, I've been an educator all my life. I absolutely love what I do, and the benefits that we would have received from watching our children just bloom and grow and become who God has created them to be is really what drives us and keeps us doing what we have been doing all these years. And we will continue to do so as long as the good Lord give us strength.
That's good. That's good news. That's good stuff. So, Beulah All Age School, like Mrs. Little said, is located in the beautiful island of Jamaica in the parish of Clarendon.
Clarendon,
Clarendon. Did y'all
yes.
hear her accent? She said Clarendon. I said Clarendon. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful island of Jamaica. And this school, Beulah All Age, you were talking when we were talking earlier, you mentioned that it starts from we say primary school back home, but here
Yes,
we call it elementary school. So,
yes,
and there's a
yes.
student enrollment, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. There's an enrollment of 381 students.
That's
Correct?
correct.
That
That's
is
correct.
correct.
Yes,
And just go
yes.
ahead and tell the audience what grades do they begin at, and where do they end?
Okay, the school is called Beulah All Age School, but we are up for a name change because we no longer have the children in the age group that would have warranted it to have been called all age.
Gotcha.
As a result of changes in the education system,
Mm.
we are now operating as a primary and infant department. So it's Beulah Primary and Infant Department. And what that means is that we have children in the infant department between the ages of 4 years and 5.
Okay.
And the population for the infant department is 70 students, 70
70
boys and
babies.
girls, right? 70 babies.
Mm-hmm.
And for the primary department, we have the older children, ages 6 to 12, and it starts at grade 1, goes all the way up to grade 6. So grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, 4, 5, and 6. Upon leaving grade 6, they transition into the high school program.
So, okay, so that's a set high school that is designated for students coming from Beulah and surrounding schools. So
Definitely.
from the primary department, they're transitioning out to high school, and they're doing what exams are they doing?
There are different exams that the students would have done from they would have entered at the grade 1 level.
Mm-hmm.
But in order for them to transition into the high school, there is a particular exam that begins at grade 4, and it's called the primary exit profile.
Okay.
It's a profile of our students' performance from the moment they enter grade 4. So it's a combination of all the grades and that they would have earned from grade 4, grade 5, and grade 6. So various forms of assessment
Right.
over the 3 years
Right.
will come together to determine their placement
Mm-hmm.
in a high school of their choice.
Oh, good news. Okay. All right. So tell us, how long have you been a school principal, or did you start out as a principal?
Not at all.
Okay.
It's 29 years in the education system. 29 years. That's all I know how to do. I just know how to be an educator. And I started out as a classroom teacher, and then I would have, matriculated
Right.
or promoted
Right.
to the role of a vice principal.
So
And
let me
go
ask,
ahead.
where did you start out initially as
For,
a school teacher?
Formerly, I was at Fort Parts Primary and Junior High.
Okay.
That's another primary school
Okay.
in same parish,
Mm-hmm.
but different community. And I would have spent the last 20 years there before,
Mm-hmm.
yes, before transitioning to the school that I'm currently at. So I would have left that school as a vice principal to
Right.
take up a principal position right here at Beulah
Beulah.
All
Right, because
School.
that was going to be my question. Was the promotion, did the promotion take place there at the school you initially started out at? Yes.
Uh, the,
The
the,
vice
the, the, the,
principal.
yes, the vice principal, I would have earned
Okay.
that promotion there, and then I would have applied, decided I wanted to step up into leadership.
Okay.
And that means, yes, and that means that I would have been seeking out jobs elsewhere. And I was very blessed. And when I say very blessed, I mean, I believe that God selected, handpicked this position for me.
Oh, yeah, because I had to meet you.
From the moment, even before I got into the role of principalship here at Beulah, I knew that this is where God wanted me to be. And it's just playing out every day, affirming that knowledge.
Right. Let's talk about visions that you have for your school, for Beulah, and how the staff is involved in helping you to get to those goals or fulfill those visions that you have for the students at Beulah All Age.
Well, I'm telling you, Marcus Garvey, one of our national heroes, said that without a vision, the people perish. Yes, they perish.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a vision. I have a vision for Beulah All Age School. I have a vision for the community that Beulah All Age is situated in.
Right.
I also have a vision for the students and for Jamaica on a whole. And I believe that myself, that we have an awesome role to play.
Yes.
When we think about community development, when we think about national development,
yes,
when we think about the next generation,
mm-hmm.
we have an awesome role to play. And so all of that forms part of my vision.
Right.
And what does that mean? All students as they are now are in our hands.
Yes.
Gifted to us the awesome responsibility to mold them,
right,
and to shape them,
yes,
into what God has created them to be.
Yes.
And so I believe that my vision or our vision must fall in line with that final outcome.
Right.
Because we are not just preparing them for today and tomorrow, but we're preparing them for a greater journey.
Yes, generations to come. Yeah, it's important. When I mentioned to you earlier about our kids being the future, and when I said that it is very important that they have strong, caring individuals in their lives, I'm really passionate about that. I really mean that, because when I think about prayer in the school, prayer something that is practiced in the schools. Because when I grew up in Jamaica, we had to pray in school. and things in times have changed. We are living in a dark, 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 dark world.
World.
And so prayer, is that still practiced in the schools in Jamaica? And how important is that?
It is fundamental to how we operate. And I can safely say, confidently say, to how schools in Jamaica operate. I go further to say it's embedded in our mission, it's embedded in our vision.
Yes.
Because we have to ensure that we produce students who are spiritually aware, socially conscious, culturally conscious, morally conscious. And so, as a matter of fact, I can tell you about character education.
Yes, talk about it.
That's a program that we have launched recently, character education. And character education really focuses on values and attitudes,
right?
Because we recognize the moral decay. We recognize that things are not what they ought to be.
Right.
And so we have to be doing what we can to get things back on track.
Right.
Now, values are taught. Values must be taught. Values must be demonstrated so that the children can see and understand, emulate, follow. And, we become role models for our children. And so we have the character education program going on. What we do, Desiree, we identify core values.
Okay.
And these core values are written all over our school. You walk around the school,
I saw the
wall. You see the core values on the wall.
Yes.
So you'll see words like honesty, gratitude, thankfulness, sharing, caring, loving. You'll see these words around you because we want the children to see them. We want them to be constant reminder. And so devotion is daily.
Good.
Every morning we start the day with devotion.
Very good.
On a Monday and a Friday, general devotion.
Okay.
And that will last roughly for half an hour.
So hold on.
And then
hold on.
Go ahead.
So every day you have devotion, but on Mondays and Fridays there's general devotion. What is the difference?
The difference is all the students come together.
Okay. Okay.
From all the different grades, and we congregate in one space.
Good.
And we have one big common, beautiful, melodious worship.
Good.
Where everyone gets a chance to participate. And this is an event that is planned. Persons are rostered, and there is a core value that is emphasized.
Right.
Like Monday for this week, the core value is gratitude.
Okay.
And so the teacher who is rostered would have prepared herself and a group of students to help to communicate that to the wider school population. And we use dance, we use music, we use drama, we use Bible readings, we use stories to communicate the message that we are trying to send our students.
So let me ask you this. Just going back to character building. You mentioned honesty.
Yes.
Have you seen any evidence that character building is working in any of the students?
That's a great question.
Okay.
That's like the perfect question to have asked.
Okay.
The first week when we started the program, of course, honesty is going to be one of the values that you would normally, you go to first.
Right.
And so when we did in the early weeks, when we did honesty, what we discovered, we used a strategy where we rewarded the children for acts of honesty.
Gotcha.
So, the children are small, they are babies. They run, they play, they're not careful. So they drop money on the school compound, on the school ground, on the playground all the time.
Right.
Unaware. We witness children coming to the office, taking monies to teachers to say, Miss, I found this money, and they handed it over to us. So what we did was we took their picture, we commended them publicly in front of the school population. Good. We put it in the parents' WhatsApp group to let the parents know what is happening. And we also put it on our social media Facebook page.
Okay.
And we commend them. And what it did, it motivated the children. So, I was in a meeting the other day and I said to the audience, money does not fall on the ground anymore at our school, and children take it and put it in
I
their
know,
pockets.
because I'm telling you, when I was growing up, I don't know about. Can I
They
just.
hand over the money.
Okay.
It has been working. It has
Okay.
been working.
That is
And
very
I'm
good
really
news.
happy for it. Yes,
So
yes.
apart, that's good news. That's good stuff. But I want to know, what are some of the challenges that you face as a principal?
The major challenges,
Mm-hmm.
one word, resources,
Mm.
inadequate resources.
Okay.
That's the major challenge.
Okay.
And it comes down to financial, not enough funding, not enough money
Mm-hmm.
to do all the things that we would like to do,
Okay.
to undertake all the projects
Right.
that we would want to carry out.
Mm-hmm.
We have infrastructure development that we need to focus on. We have programs that we need to build, like our sports program, teaching and learning resources that we would like to provide to enhance teaching and learning, and also welfare needs. Our children, Beulah is located in a rural community.
Yes.
The poor economic background, low socioeconomic background, most of the parents. And so there's a lot of unemployment,
Mm.
and low income earners in this community. And so therefore it reflects in the children's ability, or in the parents' inability to produce some of the things that we really want them to have to take to school. Simple things like books, materials, you
Right.
know.
Right.
And Desiree, we give God thanks for persons like you who would have done, a marvelous job in assisting to provide resources, books and school supplies, for our children, well needed and well received.
Mm-hmm.
And so these are some of the challenges
Right.
that, and as a principal, we struggle to find funds. We have to be reaching out to the stakeholders, find the donors, and persons who have a heart for education, who have a heart for
Children.
children,
Right.
and really believe in giving back,
Right. Right.
giving back.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
so those are some of the challenges that we face. Other challenges are minor, of a lesser extent. And I find that education, there's some amount of poor parenting, but education can cover that.
But how
If
do how do the parents, are the parents, do they get involved with whatever you're trying to do at Beulah? How are the parents involved, or even
parent
staff?
parental involvement is satisfactory, it's good.
Okay.
It can be better. There's a lot of room for improvement.
Mm-hmm.
But my parents, a large majority of our parents, they are on board. They love what is happening. There is a certain energy. There is a certain vibe.
Right.
I don't know how many persons in your audience understand the word vibe,
Mm-hmm.
but it comes, when you think vibe, you think about the energy,
Right. Right.
life and spirit
Right.
that exists within our school, because we believe in being passionate.
Right.
We believe in working hard. We believe in giving the children love. We believe in sharing that love with the parents. And so there is almost somewhat of a family atmosphere going on.
Right.
We believe in putting out programs that make the children look forward to coming to school. Right. So we ensure that learning is fun, that school is a place the children want to get up in the morning and they're anxious to get ready, because we want them to love school. Right. If they love school, they will develop a love for learning.
Yes.
So you find that when you do things like that, you get the parents coming on board more. Right. You see them being more involved.
Right.
Yes. We have more work to do to get more parents on board, but definitely it is happening and it is good so far.
Well, I know this for sure, to Mrs. Little. Growth takes time. So
yes.
it will happen. You just have to continue to push, hold to that vision, be steadfast when it comes to your goals for the school, for your staff, and for the children.
Yes.
That's just what I believe. And so if you could just snap your finger, if you could just go and snap. Did I just do that? If you could snap your fingers, what would it be? Give me five things that you would wish, your wish list for the school. And I know you mentioned a lot, but just five things on your wish list for the
On
school.
my wish list.
Or where would
We
you want to see the school in 5 years then?
In 5 years, I would love to see us having a very vibrant sports program
Mm.
where our children are exposed to track and field, exposed more to track and field, more to football, netball. We need to do some infrastructural development for these things to happen much more,
Right,
much
right,
better.
right.
And so I'd love to see our sports program developing.
Okay.
I would also like to see infrastructural development as it relates to some of our buildings. We have one building in particular, and I speak of the infant department, the building that houses the infants. The roof leaks heavily. And so we need to have that building totally re-roofed. So that's a vision. Another thing I'd love to see is to have our children more technologically aware. Love to have them interacting with more technological device.
Gotcha.
A smart board, a simple, well, it's not a simple thing. It's a wonderful invention, a smart board. Would love to have at least one or two smart boards in and around the teaching environment so that children can benefit from gadgets like those that fosters and enable greater teaching and learning. Would also love to have our children going out more, leaving our community, going out more to different places in Jamaica. Jamaica is made up of 14 parishes.
Yes.
14 beautiful parishes.
parishes.
We want to give them more exposure.
Okay.
We don't want them to wait until they're adults. They're just seeing certain places, And so we want to be able to plan more educational trips and so on that will really give them more exposure as to what this wider world is like, And all of these things will just help them right now to become better persons, to have more goals, to want more for themselves than what they see in the little community that they are currently in.
Yeah.
And as simple as this one sounds, Desiree, it's important because when funds are really low for parents, even when we planned educational trips to take them out, the other day we took a large group to Montego Bay in St. James, but many students could not afford to attend. They just could not find the cost because we have to hire a bus to transport us, and there's a cost. The places we're going to, there's an entry fee, and parents have to pay to offset the cost. And so I want to get to the point where these things are subsidized, and every child must at some point in time be able to access these services, whether or not their parents can afford it or not. So these are some of the things I want to see. I want to see our students be well-rounded Jamaicans.
Yes.
Proud to be Jamaicans.
Yes, talk about it.
Knowing where they are going, knowing what they want in life, and working hard towards achieving that.
And I believe that everyone that is listening, can relate. And this is why I say it's real, it's relevant, and it is relatable. I lived it, so I know exactly what you're talking about. And, it's not it wasn't always, the grass was not always green. We know
green,
it's just a different shade of green, and like I said, growth takes time, and it's going to take effort. It's going to take everyone pulling together, and doing what needs to be done for the betterment of the children, because I'm telling you, they are the future, and if they're messed up, it's over. And I'm so proud. I live in the United States, and I thank God this is where he has chosen for me to be, and I thank God for that. But I was born in Jamaica, and I love Jamaica. I love my country, the land of my birth, and I'm just so proud that we are still so adamant about prayer being in the schools, because I'm telling you, it is so dark out here, Mrs. Little. We are living in such a dark society, a dark world, where the crime is to a level where I've never seen, And can you imagine if we were not praying? In some
Yes.
schools, can you imagine if Beulah was not praying? Look at all the
Praying.
crime. Look at all that is taking place in Jamaica and
Place.
in all other countries. Crime is everywhere. But can you imagine if there was
Imagine
not prayer in the school?
in the school.
Prayer is what is keeping us together. It's what's keeping the kids together. It's
Yes.
what keeps
Yes.
us going. And I'm just so
Yes.
proud. I am elated that Jamaica is still praying. And I'll just continue to ask God to just continue to make Jamaica to continue to pray, if that makes sense.
I am a Christian educator.
Let's talk
A
about it.
Christian educator. And I can say that most of the teachers on staff, they are Christians.
Yes.
And so it behoves us
Yes.
to do all that we can to ensure that the word of God is made known to the
Advanced.
children in our
Yes.
care. It's
Yes.
not a responsibility that we take lightly,
Very good. Yes.
And so we are the vanguards
Mm-hmm.
of the values and the mores
Yes.
that will change
Yes.
our children and make them into Christ-like beings.
Men
And
and
so we
women
are
of God.
doing all that we can
Yes.
to make sure that we play our part.
Yes, I'm standing on the wall in America, and I just encourage you to continue to stand on the wall there. But I want to play a little game with you. It's called Getting to Know You. Just getting to know you as we wrap up here. So,
Okay.
growing up, did you have a nickname? If so, what was it?
Shorty.
Oh,
Shorty.
I wonder why.
Shorty. I am 4 feet. I'm about 4 feet 11 inches tall.
That's okay.
Shorty.
That's okay. At least we thank God that you're standing, even though you're standing
Yes.
short, right?
Yes.
I'm a
Yes.
healthy 5'9", and I thank
Oh,
God.
I know.
Yes.
I know you tower over me.
Yes, yes. My nickname was Milky. Don't ask
Milky.
why. Milky.
Okay.
Mrs. Little, I don't know what was my problem. I drank nothing but milk as a child.
Mi-
I loved milk, and I
But
still
that's
do.
good.
I still do, but it doesn't love me. Okay, so all right, moving on. It's not about me. Okay, favorite pastime. What is your favorite pastime?
Singing.
Really? Are you a good singer, or you
Yes.
just sing because God gave you a voice? Are you a good
I'm not a
singer?
good I'm not a good singer. I wish I were, but I still love singing. I love listening to music, and I tell myself I'm a good singer, but other people tell me that I'm not. So,
It's
but I
time to
still love to
stop.
sing.
Well,
I
it was
still
a
love to
pleasure.
sing.
It was such an honor to have you on, Mrs. Little. I'm hoping that you will join us again on Connect. Connect with me
Yes.
again. All right. God
Yes.
bless you. Keep standing on the wall. Keep pressing. I'm going to keep pressing and praying on behalf.
Definitely.
God bless you.
Definitely.
Thank you. Well,
Thank you
thank
so
you,
much,
God.
Desiree.
Thank you guys for joining me. Join me again for another episode. God bless. Bye-bye now.